Money is not some mysterious force outside of you, nor is it a treasure that hides from the deserving. Money is pure energy, a current in the great river of life that responds to the command of the one who dares to speak with authority. It is obedient by its very nature, for it was never created to be your master, but your servant. When you begin to see money not as a problem to solve, but as an energy that waits for your direction, your whole relationship with it transforms. Money does not question you, it does not argue with you, it simply reflects the words you speak and the belief you hold. If you order money with fear and doubt, it hesitates, it delays, it trickles in small amounts. But if you order it with faith, with certainty, and with the calm knowledge that it must obey, then the flow is swift, abundant, and unending. The law of life is precise. Energy must follow command. Just as water flows in the direction of the channel carved for it, money flows in the direction of the decree you make with your words and thoughts. The one who says, "I never have enough money," is literally commanding lack, and life cannot help but obey. The one who declares, "Money flows to me freely and continuously," is commanding abundance, and life rushes to fulfill that order. The secret is not in chasing or begging for money, but in understanding that it already exists in unlimited supply and is simply waiting for your instruction. You are the authority, the master over your finances, and the words you choose act as the keys that unlock the treasure house of supply. Just as you would not plead with your reflection in the mirror to smile. You simply smile, and the reflection obeys. So must money reflect the vibration of your spoken word. Imagine a servant who waits silently at your side, ready to move at your command. If you never give an order, he stands idle. If you send him on small errands, he brings back small returns. But if you send him with confidence and precision on a great mission, he will accomplish it faithfully. Money is that servant. It stands ready to move when you speak. But unlike a human servant, it cannot fail, it cannot resist, it cannot disobey. It follows the law, and the law is that energy obeys authority. That authority is given to you through your consciousness, your faith, and your words. Therefore, you must begin to treat money as something responsive, alive, and eager to serve you. Stop fearing it, stop doubting it, and stop placing it on a pedestal as if it were more powerful than you. Money has no power on its own. It gains power only from the commands you give it. If you wish it to flow, you must order it to flow. Speak to it morning and night, not with desperation but with certainty, as one giving direction to a loyal companion. Declare with firmness, "Money, you are energy, you obey me, you flow to me freely, endlessly, joyfully, and without eruption." When you speak this way, you align yourself with divine law, and divine law cannot fail. What you command in faith must appear in your life. The moment you accept this truth, you no longer wait for money to decide whether or not it will come. You declare, you decree, and money obeys. For money is not the master. It is the servant. It is energy, and energy always responds to command. Every word you speak is a seed, and every seed must grow into a harvest. Words are not idle sounds that vanish into the air. They are living decrees that take root in the unseen and blossom in the seen. When you say, "I am always struggling for money," you have planted the seed of struggle, and life has no choice but produce its bitter fruit. When you say, "Money flows to me in perfect ways," you have planted the seed of abundance, and the soil of the universe must bring forth that harvest. Words are the commands that set energy in motion, and energy never fails to obey. If you doubt this, think of the countless times a careless word has shaped your reality. A person who repeatedly says, "I am unlucky," begins to live in patterns of misfortune. A person who declares, "Everything always works out for me," suddenly finds doors opening and circumstances shifting in their favor. It is not chance. It is the law of the spoken word. The tongue is like the rudder of a great ship. Though small, it directs the entire course of your life. Many complain about financial lack without realizing they are decreeing it daily with their words. Each complaint, each fearful statement, each anxious repetition of, "I can't afford this," is an order sent to the universe, and the universe must fulfill it. You cannot speak poverty and expect wealth. You cannot declare lack and expect abundance. Life is exact, and it echoes back to you precisely what you send out. To change your financial reality, you must change your language. The words you speak must align with the abundance you wish to see. When you speak, speak with authority. Do not whisper weak affirmations while secretly doubting them. Say with conviction, "I am richly supplied. Money comes to me in overflowing amounts. I am always guided to prosperity. I live in abundance." Speak these words not once, but daily, consistently, as a commander giving orders to an obedient army. Your words carve channels in the unseen, and through those channels your supply must flow. Do not be fooled if results seem delayed. Just as a seed planted today does not bloom tomorrow, The words you decree may take time to manifest, but they are always growing, always moving toward you, always preparing to burst forth in perfect timing. Guard your tongue, for it is the gatekeeper of your fortune. Refuse to speak words of fear or defeat, even in casual conversation. Many people block their prosperity by joking about poverty, mocking their own lack, or speaking of money with bitterness. Such words, though playful, carry weight. The law does not distinguish between serious statements and careless ones, it only obeys. Therefore, let your words be chosen with care, as you would choose precious jewels. Each word is a command, and each command sets in motion unseen forces that shape your tomorrow. Affirm abundance not only when you are in comfort, but especially where in challenge. Anyone can say, "I am rich," when their pockets are full, but the true power lies in saying, "I am rich," when appearances show lack. That is the word of faith, and faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Your decree is a seed, and faith is the water that nourishes it. Keep speaking, keep affirming, keep declaring, and the harvest must come. For your words are never lost, never wasted, never ignored. They are divine orders stamped upon the fabric of reality, and reality must obey. Fear is the great thief of abundance. It whispers lies of lack, limitation, and delay. Fear paints pictures of unpaid bills, closed doors, and empty pockets. When you accept those pictures as truth, you give power to them, and they become the reality you experience. Fear is nothing more than misplaced faith, faith in the negative, faith in failure, faith in loss. The more you dwell on fear, the more energy you give to the very conditions you wish to escape. Fear builds walls around the river of supply, blocking the natural flow that was meant to reach you with ease. It is not the universe that withholds abundance, it is fear that dams the current. Faith, however, is the master key that opens the floodgates. Faith does not wait for proof. It declares abundance in the face of lack. It proclaims supply when appearances shout shortage. Faith stands in the storm and says, "I am safe, I am provided for, I am prospered." Faith is not blind. It sees a higher reality, one that exists beyond appearances, one that knows the invisible is more powerful than the visible. The moment you replace fear with faith, the walls crumble and the river of prosperity rushes in. Think of two people in the same circumstance. One says, "I don't know how I'll ever make it. Everything is against me." The other says, "I know that every need is already met. I trust that the way will open." The first builds a prison of fear, and lack continues to chase him. The second builds a bridge of faith, and abundance finds her, often through unexpected channels. Nothing external has changed, the difference is in the inner command. Fear shuts doors, faith swings them open. Fear contracts, faith expands. Fear says, "What if it doesn't happen?" Faith says, "It is already done." Fear cannot create abundance, no matter how hard you work under its shadow. You may toil endlessly, but if your heart is bound by fear, your results will always be small, fragile, and uncertain. Faith, on the other hand, multiplies your effort. It adds a divine current to your actions, lifting you into success that goes beyond your own ability. Faith draws opportunities, ideas, and people into your life because it vibrates at the frequency of abundance. Fear repels, faith attracts. Fear closes the hand, faith opens it. The practice of faith begins in the mind. Each time fear arises with its voice of doubt, answer it firmly with words of truth. When fear says, "You will not have enough," reply, "I am always supplied in perfect ways." When fear says, "The doors are closing," declare, "New doors are opening right now." When fear says, "You are alone," affirm, "I am guided, I am supported, I am never alone." Speak until the voice of fear grows faint and the voice of faith grows strong. Fear may knock at the door, but you are not required to let it in. Stand guard over your thoughts. Refuse to entertain images of lack. Replace them with visions of abundance so vivid that they stir joy within you. Let faith paint your inner world with overflowing supply, and soon your outer world must reflect it. For what you believe deeply you receive. What you affirm consistently, you attract. The river of abundance is always flowing, it is only your fear that blocks it. Release the fear, embrace the faith, and the flow returns, stronger and swifter than ever before. Money has no will of its own. It cannot rise up against you, it cannot argue with you, and it cannot decide to stay away from you. It is neutral, obedient, and waiting for command. Yet many live as though money holds power over them, as if it is the master and they are helpless servants. They chase it, they fear it, they bow before it, believing their fate depends on whether or not it will come. But money was never given such authority. It was created to serve, not to rule. The true commander is not money, but the one who speaks with authority. When you speak with faith, your word directs money exactly as you desire, for money cannot resist the decree of a soul aligned with divine law. Consider the difference between a ruler and a servant. The ruler sets the command, and the servant carries it out. The servant does not question, does not resist, does not debate, it simply obeys. In the same way, money is a servant that takes orders from your consciousness. If you order it to be scarce by constantly affirming lack, it obeys. If you order it to flow freely by affirming abundance, it obeys. It has no choice, for it does not possess free will. The tragedy is that so many people reverse the order, treating money as ruler and themselves as subject. They wait for money to decide their happiness, their freedom, and their choices, never realizing that they are the ones with the authority to direct its flow. The first step to reclaiming your position as commander is to release fear. When you fear money, you hand over your power. Fear says, if money leaves me, I will be ruined. Faith says, money comes and goes, but supply is endless, and I command it with my word. The second step is to speak with authority. Do not plead with money, do not beg it to arrive. Begging shows weakness, and weakness cannot command. Instead, speak as a commander giving orders. You are my servant. You obey me. You come to me continuously, abundantly, joyfully. Speak it with certainty, not once, but daily, until your inner belief matches your words. As you do this, you will notice a shift in how you think and act. Instead of shrinking in fear, you will expand in confidence. Instead of seeing money as a scarce resource to be hoarded, you will see it as an obedient servant that multiplies under your command. This shift opens the door for opportunities to appear, for ideas to spark, for doors to swing open. Money moves toward the one who knows they are master, because money, like all energy, is attracted to authority. This truth does not mean you should be careless or arrogant. A wise commander gives clear orders and respects the power of the servant. Use your words wisely, direct your thoughts carefully, and treat money with gratitude as it serves you. Gratitude strengthens the bond between master and servant. Say often, thank you for the abundance that flows to me. Thank you for the money that serves my life's purpose. Gratitude seals your authority and love, ensuring that money flows to you not just in amounts, but in harmony and joy. The moment you accept your rightful place as commander, money loses its false power over you. It no longer determines your mood, your choices, or your destiny. You are no longer its servant, waiting helplessly for its arrival. You are its master, giving clear commands, knowing they must be carried out. And money, being obedient energy, cannot do anything but obey. Abundance is not something you earn through struggle, or chase through endless effort. It is your birthright, a gift woven into the very fabric of your existence. You were not created to live in lack, to fear every bill, or to shrink before every demand of life. You were born into a universe overflowing with supply, where every star, every tree, every ocean testifies that there is more than enough for all. The same intelligence that feeds the birds of the air and clothes the flowers of the field has also provided for you. But you must claim it. Many do not claim their abundance because they believe they are unworthy, that prosperity belongs only to the fortunate or the chosen few. Such beliefs are illusions, shadows that vanish the moment you shine the light of truth upon them. Your birthright is prosperity, but a birthright is useless unless it is claimed. A child may inherit great riches, but if he never steps forward to receive them, he lives as poor as one with nothing. In the same way, abundance waits for you, but you must declare it as yours. You must stand in the authority of your divine inheritance and say, I claim my abundance now. I accept wealth, success, joy, and freedom as my natural state. I will not settle for less than what I was created for. This claiming is not arrogance. It is alignment. It is the recognition that you are part of a divine order in which supply is endless and where lack has no rightful place. When you see abundance as your birthright, you stop chasing money as if it were running away from you. You begin to walk in confidence, knowing that wealth is drawn to you because you are aligned with the source of all good. You no longer worry about how or when money will come. You know that the universe is abundant, that channels will open, and that supply will flow in perfect timing. This knowing frees you from anxiety and places you in a state of peace, and from that peace, even greater abundance flows. For worry blocks, but peace attracts. Fear closes, but faith opens. Gratitude multiplies, while complaint diminishes. To live in the awareness of your birthright is to live with expectancy. Expectancy is the magnet that pulls abundance into your life. If you expect lack, you call it forth. If you expect supply, you summon it. Begin each day with the declaration, today, I expect good. Today I expect prosperity. Today I expect doors to open and blessings to arrive. This expectancy sets the tone for the day and sends out a vibration that attracts opportunities and resources. Life cannot help but respond to the confident expectation of one who knows abundance belongs to them. Do not confuse your birthright with greed or excess. True abundance is not hoarding or taking from others. It is the free flow of supply that meets your needs, expands your opportunities, and enables you to bless others. When you claim your abundance, you are not taking from anyone else, for supply is infinite. There is more than enough for every soul on earth. Lack exists only in consciousness, never in reality. To embrace your abundance is to step into truth, and truth always sets you free. So, walk boldly, speak confidently, and live joyfully, for prosperity is not a prize you earn but a right you claim. You are not a beggar at the door of the universe, pleading for scraps. You are in here to infinite riches, and the moment you believe it, you will see it. Abundance is your birthright, and it is yours to claim now. Money is not meant to come in moments and then vanish, nor is it meant to arrive only when you strain and struggle. Supply is constant, eternal, and unbroken. And when you understand this, you can order money to flow you continuously, day and night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The same law that governs the rising of the sun, the beating of your heart, and the turning of the seasons also governs your prosperity. That law does not sleep, it does not pause, and it does not forget. The universe is always working, even when you rest, arranging channels, opening doors, and preparing ways for your abundance to appear. Your task is not to force the flow but to command it with faith and then trust that it will obey. Many believe that money can only arrive through hard labor or limited channels, so they stop the flow as soon as they stop working. They think prosperity comes only in exchange for effort, and therefore when they rest, their flow of money rests as well. But this is not the truth. Your job, your business, or your efforts are not the source. They are only channels. The true source is infinite and ever-present, and it continues to deliver even when your hands are idle. If you command supply to flow without ceasing, it must obey, for the law is always at work. You may be asleep, but the universe is not. Your affirmations spoken in faith continue their journey through the unseen, shaping circumstances and arranging blessings that will meet you at the appointed hour. Think of a river that flows through the night. You not see it while you sleep, but it moves just the same. When you wake in the morning, the river is still there, flowing strong and steady. In the same way, when you order money to flow 24/7, the current does not stop. It moves silently and faithfully, carrying to you the supply you have commanded. The evidence may not appear instantly, but it is already in motion. Unexpected checks, sudden opportunities, chance meetings, inspired ideas. These are only some of the forms the flow will take as it rushes to obey your word. The key is consistency. A commander does not give an order once and then forget. He repeats it until it is established, until it is carried out fully. You must make it a habit to affirm daily. Money flows to me continuously. It comes while I work, while I rest, and while I sleep. Supply never stops, never delays, never fails. It is always arriving, always multiplying, always obeying my command. Speak it when you rise, speak it when you work, speak it before you sleep. Let it become the rhythm of your thoughts, the song of your heart, until you know it as surely as you know the sun will rise again tomorrow. When you live in this awareness, your relationship with money changes forever. You no longer fear the gaps between paychecks, the pauses in business, or the seeming dry seasons of life. You know there are no dry seasons in truth, only appearances. Behind the appearance, the flow is still moving, still arranging, still carrying your supply to you. This knowing brings peace, and peace itself becomes a magnet for even greater abundance. Fear chases money away, but calm expectancy draws it near. So, order your supply to flow without ceasing. Do not limit it to working hours or certain channels. Do not imagine it pauses when you do. Let your decree be, money, you flow to me always, in every way, through every channel, under grace and in perfect timing. Speak it, believe it, and watch as life bends to fulfill it. For money, like all energy, was created to obey, and when commanded with faith, it cannot help but move toward you, day and night without end.